Hi friends, today you are going to need your turn book. So as I share my screen with you, I would like you to turn to page 103. 103 in your turn book. Okay? 103. So we are going to read a folk tale, How Zebras Got Their Stripes. Do you remember the skill that we're going to search for as we are reading this passage today? What did we talk about yesterday? Problem and solution. So think about what we learned yesterday about problems. Where do we normally find the problem in a passage? Do you remember? You're right. Normally, the problem is going to be at the beginning of the story. And then the solution we know is how the problem is fixed. Where do we normally find the solution? Do you remember? At the end. Okay. So as we're reading, I want you thinking about the problem and the solution. Okay. We're going to talk and do the problem together, but then I'm going to send you off on your own to do the solution and what are the results of the solution. Okay, so we'll talk about what that means when we get to it, okay? But if we think about yesterday when we read about the little boy that couldn't shoot the basketball, his coach, that was a problem, right? His coach gave him the solution of adjusting his feet. So then what was the solution? Or sorry, what was the result? The solution was adjusting your feet. And then the result was he made the basket, right? Okay, so problem, solution, and result. Let's read. Let's think about it. You're reading along with me as I am reading out loud to you. Page 103. Here we go. This story happened a long time ago in Africa. One day, Baboon, who was very fierce, decided to leave the jungle tree where he lived. He wanted to live next to the river. He was so mean that he told all the other animals that the land belonged to him. Baboon stated he was the only one allowed to drink from the river. The animals were upset. They were sad because they needed water to survive. But all of them were afraid of Baboon. He had a big head with thick eyebrows and long teeth. He showed his teeth every chance he got to scare the other animals. Ugh, this Baboon, I am not liking him. Are you guys? All right, so let's keep reading. We kind of should be thinking of that problem. We know Baboon is part of that problem, right? Yes. So the animals, they didn't know what to do. Zebra was young and brave. He was fearless and handsome in his pure white coat. In the old days, zebras had all white coats because remember, also we're learning about how zebras got their stripes. Zebra said to the other animal, I am not afraid of Baboon. I will tell him we are going to drink from the river. The next day, Zebra met with Baboon, but Baboon refused to talk to Zebra. So Zebra challenged Baboon to a fight. Baboon laughed. It had been a long time since he had lost a fight. They agreed that the loser of the fight would have to leave the jungle and river. He would have to live on the barren hills. Barren means like empty. The empty hill was not a place anyone wanted to live. They would meet the next morning in Baboon's yard next to the river. Right. Are we able to identify the problem? There might not be one sentence that we underline. We might have to pick some details from these couple beginning paragraphs, but we'll do that in a couple minutes, okay? All right, go ahead and turn the page. The next day, Zebra came to Baboon's yard. Baboon had built a bonfire. Yeah. Zebra's white coat glowed in the sun. It looked like Zebra was lit from inside his body. All the animals came to watch the fight. They knew that it would be difficult to beat Baboon. Baboon and Zebra were both strong and used all of their skills, but they knew what they were good at. Zebra used his powerful legs to run at Baboon. But Baboon was very swift. He used his quickness to jump out of Zebra's way. Before Zebra could stop, he was suddenly close to the bonfire. He was so close that the heat from the fire began to burn him. Is this how he gets his stripes? Zebra turned around and kicked Baboon over the river and onto the empty hills. He wasn't injured, but his pride was hurt. He knew he had lost. The animals could drink from the river. Zebra won, but he was left with marks. The fire had burned long black stripes on his white coat. From that day on, all zebras had black stripes and were proud of them. They were a symbol that zebra fought and won to keep water free for all animals. Oh, what a good story. All right, so go ahead and turn to the next page. So you should be on page 105. Now, we're going to just talk about the problem here. Then remember, you're going to come up with the solution that Zebra came up with. And what was the result of the solution? So what happened after Zebra came up with a way to fix it? Okay, so what was the problem? Well, who was the troublemaker? Baboon, right? And what did Baboon want to do? Take a minute and think about that. Well, he was being pretty nasty to those animals, wasn't he? He was threatening them and intimidating them. Why? Because he wanted to live where? Let's go back and look. In paragraph 1, he wanted to live next to the river. Right? Is that the problem? And he said that he was the only one allowed to drink from the river. Do we agree? So like I said, the problem is always in the beginning. Maybe not always, but more than likely, that's where you need to look. So how are we going to write this in a complete sentence? The problem in this story is that what? Baboon wants the river all to himself, right? He wants to live there and he wants to drink from it. And he only wants to drink from it. He doesn't want anybody else near it. So now you might have to go back and reread the story, my friends, but I want you to really dig deep and find what the solution is. What solution does Zebra come up with? And then what are the results? What happened because of Zebra? Okay? All right, my friends. I am going to send you off. Don't forget to answer those and then post them in your discussion post. Talk to you later.